Right now is considered the peak of hurricane season. So far, the East Coast has mostly been spared from storms. That's great news for a Brunswick couple who survived one of the worst. In our first installment of Dirigo Stories, Fox 23's Jana Barnello shows us Katrina survivors who made Maine home and how Katrina's memory is never far behind.
Capturing Maine's coast.
The natural light.
With a click.
It's legendary here in Maine.
Of Ann Hutchins' camera.
Let your camera do what it's supposed to do.
If you ask Ann, she's doing what she's supposed to do. At the photography business she runs out of her home.
This is Mount Katahdin.
With her husband Hutch.
There she is.
A company called Maine Made Photos.
We are so lucky. We are so lucky. Yes, we are. And we're blessed. The universe has been very good to us.
But while their photos are made in Maine, Ann Hutchins made her life down south in New Orleans.
We moved there from a little town in Georgia called St. Mary's.
For 45 years, she called New Orleans home. For 20 years, she lived in a condo above a lake with her husband. Until one day in August 2005.
In 6 hours, she totally changed our life.
The Hutchins didn't plan to stay through Hurricane Katrina.
But when we got to the condo, there were 12 other individuals who decided they were going to stay. And it was too late to evacuate. The roads were jam-packed, the arteries were clogged.
And they were stuck.
12 days. We were in survival mode for 12 days.
They watched the levee break, their life washed away.
As the water rose for 6 hours, rose 14 feet within 3 inches of our level. And we watched huge yachts passing in front of our window going up the canal. At eye level.
They couldn't believe their eyes, so they started taking pictures.
This is the building next to where we were. It completely blew apart.
And Ann kept a journal.
Good Morning America. It was an interview in front of Lighthouse Harbor, which was our condo. And he asked, does your family know you're safe? And I said, I hope they will now. And he said, I promise you they will.
The Hutchins have made a promise to themselves. They're going to take the details from that journal.
The helicopter, 7 a.m.
The destruction.
And the bottom part has been taken out by the water and the
from
wind.
Their pictures and publish a book by next August.
It's a see-through down below.
10 years since the storm changed everything.
It's something that, how can I put it? I think the world needs to see it.
They're reliving it all as they go through which pictures to choose. It's not all bad memories, but it's not all good either.
Do you want to go back to visit?
People have invited us to come back, Jana. It broke my heart. I can't go back.
Because she's moved forward.
Is this your condo over here?
Yeah. A lot of our friends have struggled so much more than we have because they didn't move on. Our decision was made the day after the storm to move on.
And they moved to Maine.
We have such a wonderful life here in Maine that we're so fortunate we are following a passion.
A passion for pictures.
On top of its pilings.
That started during Hurricane Katrina.
Baxter State Park.
And hasn't stopped yet. In Brunswick, Jana Barnello, Fox 23 News.
I can feel my heart racing right now watching that. I was actually in Hurricane Katrina. We lived in Mississippi at the time, worked through the storm. It was one of the most intense experiences of my life. I absolutely relate to them saying they don't want to go back. It was chaos. It was unlike anything you've ever seen. I was sharing one story with you that one thing that stuck out in my mind is these lines for gasoline. I mean, this would be hours and hours and hours. People would wait overnight to get gasoline in their car. We were live on the air at a gas station, and a woman pulled up to the pump and it ran out, and she collapsed on the ground in tears because she just didn't know what to do.
Imagine the stress. Well, you don't have to imagine. And that's one thing here in Maine, that's one of the things that really stuck with me is that gas prices spiked overnight, and it feels like they've never really gone back down since then. 9 years ago, we've been paying like $3-4 a gallon for gas.
Good things have come from it too, we should say, but it was a trying time for many people.